Oil and gas production has quickly become Oklahoma's largest industry. But now some scientists are questioning whether the increase in earthquake activity is related to part of the fracking process. Morgan Brennan reports from Prague, Oklahoma.
Struck Prague, Oklahoma in 2011 was the largest in state history.
Everything just started shaking. So it was really scary.
And though highly debated, many point to the energy industry as the culprit. That's because as oil and gas production has doubled over the past 5 years, the number of earthquakes rattling Oklahoma has surged. Until 2008, the state averaged 1 to 2 quakes magnitude 3 or greater per year. In 2015, it's averaged 2 per day. And scientists say it's not just here.
They increased throughout the central U.S. in about 2009, but primarily in just a few states and a few places within states like southern Colorado, Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma.
The U.S. Geological Survey says most of it can be linked to oil and gas production, but not fracking itself, rather the disposal of wastewater, the salty, toxic byproduct that's disposed of deep in the ground in wells far away from drinking water supplies.
And this water is re-injected. And that's been done for years and years, but that changes the fluid balance at depth in the geologic formation, and that's what has the potential for triggering earthquakes.
Oklahoma's been hit the hardest, thanks to its geological formations and the fact that billions of barrels of wastewater have been pumped down more than 4,000 wells. The oil and gas industry, the biggest business in Oklahoma, doesn't deny the possibility of a link, at least for some activity. But Kim Hatfield of the Oklahoma Independent Petroleum Association says what is lacking is specificity, being able to locate the exact wells that could actually be triggering these quakes.
That's an issue. We need to get that right. We don't want to paint everybody with the same tar brush.
It's an issue resource-strapped regulators in many states are scrambling to address. In Oklahoma, the Corporation Commission recently released an updated directive that requires proof that wells haven't been drilled into fault-riddled bedrock.
The onus is now on the operators to prove that they're not below the Arbuckle and too deep, and they have until April 18th to prove that.
And what happens if they are too deep?
Then they have to do what's called a plug back, and that's basically making the hole shallower, bringing it back into the formation in question, which would be the Arbuckle. The cost can be $100,000 or more.
The OCC is also reviewing new applications more carefully.
How many are there?
We have approximately 80 that are backlogged.
Do you think that has any kind of effect on production right now in the state, the fact that these wells are still on hold?
It probably does.
And that's one of the many questions remaining, what this means for oil and gas production, which is still the biggest industry and provider of jobs in this state. Meantime, some residents have filed lawsuits against energy companies for personal damages, including one here in Prague following that 2011 earthquake. It's a highly contested claim and one that could, when it goes before the state Supreme Court this year, also have a big impact on this entire debate. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Morgan Brennan in Prague, Oklahoma.
Hey YouTube fans, I'm Landon Dowdy from CNBC. Thank you so much for checking out our channel. You can subscribe by clicking right here to check out the latest Mad Money CEO interviews, market news, financial advice, and product unboxing. Enjoy!